Hey guys, welcome to Creative Piano Academy with me, Joseph Sikora, and I thought I'd put this video together to try and go over how we learn the names of the notes on the piano, try and simplify it for you. It can be quite intimidating if you're just first starting out and you sit down, you see all these keys and you're like, whoa, that's an insane amount to learn. And whilst there are 88 keys on a keyboard, yes, there are only 7 notes you need to learn. So I'm going to go over those 7 notes, and then I'm actually really excited about showing you an exercise that we can do to take those notes, download it into our brains. You shouldn't need to spend much longer than 5 minutes on this before you see some really cool results. So let's get going. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is just sit down in front of the piano and find the 2 black keys that are clumped together right in the middle. Okay, it should be pretty obvious which those 2 are. Once you've found those, I want you to go 1 note to the left onto this one. Now that's called a C. Specifically, it's called a middle C, and we call it middle C because it divides the bass and the treble. It also gives us a reference point for this particular C, but you don't need to worry about that too much. Once you've found that C, I want you to count up 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are all the notes you need to learn from here to here, okay? Because this note is exactly the same as this note here. Now, once you've got this lot, it just repeats. So we can move that up the piano this way, or we can move it down the piano this way. So, first of all, I'm going to show you what the white keys are. Don't worry about the black keys for now. I'll go over those in a second. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the C, and we all know the alphabet, right? So we'll start off on C and we'll go up 5 letters. We've got C, D, E, F and G. I want you to count up 5 notes. C, D, E, F and G. Okay? Now, after you've got those, C, D, E, F, G, we'll go back to the beginning of the alphabet, A, B, and then back to C. And then the whole thing repeats itself. So C, D, E, F, G, back to the beginning, A, B, C. Okay? Right, once you've got those, what about the black keys? Well, we use the white keys to describe what the black keys are. So I'll use 2 terms for you, a sharp and a flat. All right, so whenever I say sharp, it literally just means we raise a note, and if I say flat, it means we lower by a note. So if I start off on this note here, if we look to C, we can go up 1 note to this note, to this one, and that would be called a sharp. If we look to this one as well, we could say it's a D flat because it's 1 note below the D. So this one here, C sharp or D flat. It's got 2 names associated with it. We can look up here as well. So we could say this one is a G sharp or an A flat. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. So if we just call them sharps for now, so this one's a C sharp, a D sharp, an F sharp, a G sharp, and an A sharp. At the same time, we could say this is a D flat, an E flat, G flat, A flat, and a B flat. Okay? Now, you might be wondering, here, we don't have a note between this note and this one, and we don't have a note between this one and this one. Technically, you could say that this one is an E sharp, and technically you could say that this is an F flat, but we generally don't. We just call them E's and F's. Okay guys, so now you should be pretty comfortable with what these notes are. You might need to work them out, but this exercise is going to really help you. Take that and download it into your mind so that it's like second nature, okay? So I'm going to use a tool called a metronome for this, and all a metronome is it gives you a steady beat like this. You can set the speed, and it doesn't speed up, it doesn't slow down, it just keeps going and going and going, and it can really help you for exercises like this. So I've got one on my phone called Trevor James Instruments Metronome, looks like that, and I've got it set to a speed of 70. I got this off the App Store. I'm sure you can get it off the Android store as well, but you can actually get one for free if you just type it into Google. You just type in online metronome, and the very first result, I think in Google itself, something comes up and you can just press play, choose your speed, get it up on your iPad or your phone and stick it up by your piano. So once you've got that, I'm going to set mine to a speed of 70 and it should sound a bit like this. You see the little thing ticking backwards and forwards. Now that will just keep going and it won't stop until I feel like throwing it against the brick wall. But anyway, so I'm going to keep that going. Now we're going to start off by taking one note and repeating it over and over again and saying it over and over again, but you're not allowed to go outside of this beat. So that's the game, okay? So we're going to C, 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 like this. C, C. I want you to look down at the notes. C, C. And when you feel comfortable, I want you to bring in another note. So I'll bring in an E, E, C, E, C, E, C, C, E, E, C. I'll bring in another note. F, E, F, E, C, F. And I want you to keep it random, right? I want you to keep it random. Keep going. And don't let yourself speed up or slow down. I want you to keep going on every single beat that you hear on that metronome, okay? C, F, E. Bring in another note. G, F, G, E, G, F, C, G. And then we just keep going like that, adding in extra notes. F, D, E, G, F, C, A, G, A, E, F, D, G, B, F, A, E, G, F, C, B. And you just keep going like that. I'll just stop that for a second. So we just keep going like that for about 5 minutes. And by the end of 5 minutes, you should be playing every single note. So you can play this as a game, right? So you can just keep going. And if you fall behind, then you lose. If you keep going at the same speed, then you win. All right? Play a game with yourself. So there's a few variables we can do to make this a little bit harder now. We can increase the speed. That's one thing. We can bring in the sharps or the flats. That's another thing. And we can also expand ourselves up to 2 octaves. So for instance, I could increase the speed to about 80. Whatever you feel comfortable with. And I'll bring in the sharps, all right? So I'll call these all sharps just for this exercise. So I could go C, F sharp, D, A sharp, G, F sharp, D sharp, E, B, A, F, A sharp, C sharp, okay? I could bring in the other octave as well, okay? And I hope I get this right. C, B, G, G sharp, D, B, F sharp, A sharp, F sharp, E, B, A, D. You get the idea, okay? So the exercise in a nutshell is like, the point is you're going to start out with one note and just keep going with that one note. When you feel comfortable, bring in another note, then bring in another, then bring in another, and just slowly build your way up to all 7 of the white keys. And then you can make the, that shouldn't last longer than 5 minutes. And then you can do it again. You can add in the black keys. You can increase the speed to make your brain have to work faster. And you can also bring in multiple octaves. You can even use, if you get really good at it, you can even use the whole piano. It's entirely up to you. But the point is, you're sat down at the piano. You're pushing down the keys. Your brain's making these connections between pushing down keys and making sounds. And all that's very, very good. That's really good for your brain. That's really good for your playing. And just keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. Okay guys, thanks for watching the video. If you look down below, you'll see all my links to social media. I've also put together an aid sheet which you can download. All I ask for is your email address. You can get that printed out and stick it on your piano. It'll help you out with the exercise. It's really good. It's really practical. So yeah, till next time. See you soon. Psst, hit the like button.